Hello. It is a true honor to be here tonight. Thank you for celebrating the film Moonlight. Truly, thank you. Moonlight is a film about a young black boy named Chiron growing up in the Liberty City neighborhood in Miami, and I played his friend Kevin. When I got the script for Moonlight, I took a deep breath and I said, finally. See, I identify as straight, but in other ways I struggled to fit in for most of my life. I went to LaGuardia High School and there weren't a lot of Latino kids. LaGuardia in the house? Okay. Well, I went to LaGuardia High School and there weren't a lot of Latino kids rocking, from the Bronx, rocking sweatpants and hoodies. So I always felt disconnected. But after I read Barry and Terrell's script, that feeling disappeared. I didn't feel alone. And more than that, I could get an opportunity to tell my friends' stories, to tell my LGBT and my black friends' stories. Since the film's release, truly. Since the film's release, people of all walks of life have come up to me and they've said, finally, and thank you. And that's been the best part of this ride, because Moonlight gives a voice to everyone. For many people, it allows them to see themselves on the screen for the first time. And as Janelle Monáe's character, Teresa, says in the film, it's all love and it's all pride. So thank you for having us here, and thank you for giving us a voice. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Moonlight.
At some point, you gotta decide for yourself when you movie. Can't let nobody make that decision for you.
Moonlight is about a young boy growing up in inner city Miami. He's sort of trying to find himself, but at the same time, he's got this very, very hard home life.
Whoa, wait. We watch him try to explore the depths of who he is, who the world thinks he should be, in a very dynamic way.
You want a faggot?
You could be gay, but you never let nobody call you no faggot.
How do I know? You'll know when you know.
You gotta know right now.
Usually when you see a film about some LGBT character, like a kid coming of age, it's some kid in the suburbs or some kid in the Midwest, they're not really struggling through these very physical barriers to fulfilling themselves. I consider myself an ally, somebody who empathizes with the other, in this case, with the LGBTQ community.
Stop putting your head down in my house. You know my rule. It's all love and all pride in this house. You feel me?
It's important to me to, at some point in my work, create images that I feel like aren't being created. Or to speak for people who aren't being spoken for.
Who is you, Sharon? I'm me, man. I ain't trying to be nothing else.
When people see this film, I hope that we did our jobs well enough. The movie is nuanced enough, inviting enough, open enough, that people who don't necessarily identify with those characters can also be intrigued and go, oh, actually, I would like to know more about this world. I think that's the way that will lead to a conversation.
Damn. That was my first time watching that. That was incredible. Now please turn your attention to the screens for a message from our Moonlight director, Barry Jenkins.
Hi, my name is Barry Jenkins, writer-director of Moonlight. I'm sorry I couldn't be there this evening, but I wanted to thank the Human Rights Campaign for bestowing this honor upon us. I've always considered myself an ally to LGBTQ causes, to people who feel othered. And it was just the most wonderful experience to respectfully take Terrell's voice and Terrell's experience and bringing the story to the screen so other people could experience, even just for 2 hours, what it's like to be someone like Chiron. And so I think with this honor, hopefully we can share that experience with even more people, because now more than ever, I think our stories demand, they need to be told. And I just feel honored and blessed that I got to tell this one. So thank you very much.
And I would now like to welcome to the stage my big brother, MacArthur Genius Winning Genius, the writer behind the story of Moonlight, Terrell Alvin McCraney.
There are limits. They exist. Some we are born with, and some we are given. Moonlight is the story of how the limits of the world around you can cause you to implode. As Mahershala Ali, one of the stars of Moonlight, put it, makes you fold in on yourself. It's also the story of how, with the aid of others, sometimes the kindness of strangers, we can see our way towards limitless. It is with great pride that I accept this honor on behalf of this incredible film. Its amazing producers, Adela Romansky, A24, Plan B, and its masterful cast and crew. But I would be remiss if I don't take this moment to recognize the force that breathed life into Moonlight, Mr. Barry Jenkins. We never met as children. We never ran together like Chiron and Kevin through the streets of Miami. He did not witness firsthand the brutality that the neighborhood block boys visited on my already shy person, nor was I there to comfort him through the ravages of addiction that assaulted both of our mothers' lives. But when faced with the tough question of telling this complicated life story, Barry showed up and showed out. As he said, he's always considered himself an ally. And I've heard in the really woke circles how people dismiss that term. But to me, an ally is what he is, and his example should encourage us all. What if ally meant that when the limits come knocking at your neighbor's door, when they threaten to strip your family away, we show up. We stand with them and fight against poverty and misogyny, or just to be seen? What if it meant we lent our voice to the voiceless? What if it meant we gave our hands to those who are being disintegrated by the limits of this world? An ally means giving voice to the voiceless and by passing them the mic, not speaking over them. And as an ally, we allow the light of the moon to shine on the privileged and the marginalized alike. For a long time, I believed that the community I was from, the story I had to tell, had limits. But once you get an ally, like Jarrell Jerome, like A24, like Barry Jenkins, once you get an ally like that, we are limitless. Thank you, and peace and blessings.